Hello everyone! So today we're going to be reviewing this Hygger Auto Aquarium Gravel Cleaner, and I have the 49 feet long variant. So I apologize in advance, this is going to be a little chaotic at first, but I'll have chapters down below if you just want to skip to the full-on review without any of the issues that I personally had. So, alright, let's begin! Alright, so here's the unboxing to start. So we have the siphoning tube. We have the faucet adapters, and it's got a few in here for different types of faucets. The detritus vacuum and the water flow control valve. The thing that's pretty cool about the orange vacuum piece, the tip, is that you can angle it so that she can get into small crevices and everything, so I thought that was pretty cool. And of course the instruction manual. You know, honestly, I'd say the biggest hurdle was trying to keep the cats away from the hose. They were so curious about this, especially when the water started running through. Alright, so let's get this set up. Alright, so you might be thinking, what sink? The thing is, our house has never had the right fixtures for anything. I have always had to get additional adapters regardless of multiple being included. So, this can work for filling your tank buckets, but it's going to be a mess to actually siphon out the tank with this method. So overall, using the wash machine area to do this, it'll work for filling your bucket, but unless you have a space big enough for a bucket or a container, like a big one, you don't want to potentially flood out the floors. So the next stop is let's find the correct adapter for one of the sinks upstairs. So the adapter. Like I mentioned before, our house never has the correct connections for fun products. So I had the same issue with my RODI system for my saltwater tank, and just like my hygger water change system, the BRS RODI system, it had a bunch of different adapters included, and none of them worked with any of the sinks, not even the shower head. So the garden hose is wonderful though, it works perfectly, and all these products always screw on perfectly to that. And I plan on revisiting the basement tanks with the siphon in the spring, since I live where we can't use the thing for a portion of the year. However, I can still fill the buckets without running up and down the stairs. It's just the siphoning out of the tank that's an issue. But more on this in a minute. So as for the adapter, I took a trip to Lowe's, didn't have any luck there, so next I went to Ace Hardware, which is where I should have gone first, because I took in the fittings for the Hygger product and a piece of the sink that typically has the aerator that screws in. And with these pieces, a knowledgeable employee got me what I needed in like 5 seconds. So here's the part I got for the particular sink I'm using, and the threads are really short, so it's kind of an odd size, but I'll see if I can link which one I got below in case you have a similar issue. So now wielding the adapter needed, I got to work on properly testing the siphoning side of the product. So, our house has a double whammy. Yay! Another issue that most people probably won't have, but with my luck I do, is our water pressure is just sad. So the hose and the washing machine fixtures are great, but everywhere else, yikes. So using this in the basement to drain water from the tank while attached to this particular sink just wasn't going to happen easily. So I can fill all my buckets since it's going down the stairs, but removing the water was too much since I would have to have the pressure strong enough to pull the water up the stairs and not just down. So filling the buckets is already extremely helpful though, especially considering I top off tanks more than I do water changes in my Planet systems, so I fully intend to fill buckets down here. So, but before moving on to the demonstration of siphoning, I plan on making a video in the spring using this with the hose outside. So I can show you how to like siphon, if we're still having algae issues, I can show you how to siphon the algae off using this. in the basement tank. But as the water, back to this, as the water is expelled outside, I can also fill the wastewater into a watering can and water my garden to conserve some water while also reusing some as well. So alright, so next we're going to do the vacuuming. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this is closed, the gravel tube valve. So as you can see, we have that in the down position. And then after you've submerged the vacuum into the water, then you're going to put this in the up position. And you're going to turn on your faucet. Oh, don't want to use too hot water here. Okay. And then we wait for it to start siphoning it up. And this could take a minute depending on your water pressure. So, and gravity. Alright, so everything I had to do in this video to set this up is probably not going to be relevant to most users, but I wanted to touch on them in case it helps someone out who might have a similar issue. There usually is a solution to it, so I just wanted to touch on this. So now let's give this product a proper spin, and we're going to use my baby Corridora tank, which is in my room.
Heck?
So the draining function will work since I have gravity. I won't be fighting gravity. So this worked out perfectly since I have some cleaning to do in this tank. So let's siphon out some waste. If you're going to have the sink running, make sure this valve is open. Unless you want to get, like, drenched. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drain that bucket up there just to demonstrate more of its draining capabilities. So we're about drained out here. And then after this drains, you're going to want to empty this hose out because you don't want to put a soaking wet hose away. So here we go. And now the last thing I want to do is refill my baby Cory tank. So I have it up in the bucket because I don't want to put it directly into the water because I prefer to have my water conditioned before it goes into the tank. So I'm probably not going to use this product in like filling the tank with fish in it. If it's like an empty tank that you're first setting up, fabulous. Fill it up with this and just stick it right in there and then just dechlorinate the water as a whole or whatever you do to treat your tank water. But if your fish and everything are already thriving in there, I wouldn't recommend sticking it directly in your tank without having the water conditioned first. So I'm going to have this go up to the bucket in my room so that I don't have to drag the bucket around and fill that up, then dechlorinate that and put it in the tank. So still saves a lot of headache of dragging buckets around. Oh, but before I do that, let me turn this back up because I want to make sure I'm temperature matching here too, which is another thing. It's just, it feels easier to do that. Just me. And remember, water pressure is your friend with this product. Okay, let's start filling. All right, so now we're filling. Bucket up. Water temperature's a little warm, so I'll probably let it cool down just a little bit. But that's fine because I can let it dechlorinate while it cools down. So, all good. All right, so that should be enough water to do a water change in here and top this tank off over here. So I'm gonna let this tube here just empty out into the water. And then I'm gonna close the valve. So the valve is closed now, so no water can spill out on the floor, and I'm going to empty the tube. All right, so once you've taken this down to the sink, like I brought mine down to the sink and I reopened the valve, that way the water can drain out of it faster. But when you're taking it to your sink, I would shut it so no water can sneak out of this. So just make sure you reopen it when you go to empty it. Lastly, I emptied the hose before storing, and before using this product, I did let the water cycle through it to make sure any dust was out of the tubing. That's more of a paranoid precaution I take with everything before it touches any of my tanks. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that in here. All right, and my final thoughts on the product. So focusing on the product specifically and leaving out all the personal struggles, because again, that's not going to be relevant to most people. I just decided to leave them here in case it helps anybody who might have a similar problem, because there's usually a solution. But I would definitely recommend this product. For me, the product's worth it alone just for filling up buckets without running all over the place, like up and down stairs, in and out of rooms. But still, I can see the siphoning being extremely helpful for hair algae along with waste if you've got like excessive amounts. But I'm super happy with the 49 feet long variant. This length is perfect for reaching the basement and my bedroom from the sink on the first floor. It should work great for the outside hose too, so I am really happy I got the longer variant. So if you're interested in making your water changes and top-offs a little less strenuous, this is a great product to try. It saves a lot of time, helps with the heavy lifting. But I have an affiliate link in the description if you'd like to check this out yourself. That just means I make a small commission from it if you want to purchase through that link. But yeah, so that's below. I'll always disclose those links. But yeah, I definitely recommend this product. It's going to save a lot of time, a lot of headache, and on days if I'm just not feeling like moving too much, it's going to make things so much easier. So thank you so much for coming along with my slightly chaotic journey testing this product out. And I'm sure you will have a much easier time with it. So again, our house just always has these problems. So, but yeah. And I also want to thank Hygger for letting me try this product out. I love it, so thank you so much. And to everyone, I will see you soon, and take care. Have a great week. Bye, everyone.